In Haines, Alaska, Parker Schnabel, a young gold miner, was born to his grandfather, John Schnabel. John Schnabel was the miner's grandfather. His experience taught him the importance of putting in a lot of effort and the results of each gold nugget that he extracted from the ground. By the time he was 16 years old, he had taken over the family firm and started making deals with prominent figures in the mining industry, such as Tony Beets. He also had the ability to get land leases and demonstrate his capabilities on national television. He had amassed more than $13 million worth of gold by the time he was 25 years old. On the other hand, the high expense of pursuing gold was accompanied by the costs that were associated with operating a mining operation. The equipment that his team had to transport was so expensive that it might be compared to the price of some people's homes. These machines required continual maintenance, operators with specialized skills, and a substantial amount of gasoline. Another mound of cash was labor of some kind. When he made the decision to invest in Dominion Creek, he put $15 million into that enterprise in the hopes of receiving a return that would propel his career to the next level. The celebrity that comes with being on reality television comes with a number of benefits, including admirers, public recognition, and a consistent revenue stream that is not necessarily dependent on the price of gold. On the other hand, it comes with a spotlight that has the potential to make every failure feel a little bit more painful. As a result of Parker's investigation, he discovered that when the cameras are on, people are waiting for errors, which are what keep reality television going. However, despite the fact that his crew toiled relentlessly and put in 75-hour weeks, the weight of leadership was firmly on his shoulders. It wasn't simply that they were employees, they were also the ones who knew him when he was at his worst and in the gutter. Not only did he owe them a wage, but he also believed that this business could continue to function. His personal life was falling apart in addition to the strain that was being placed on his finances. It was during the 7th season of Gold Rush that viewers had the opportunity to become acquainted with Ashley Ewell, an Australian veterinarian nurse. He had been in a relationship with her. The termination of their relationship in the year 2017 left him obviously upset, and the fact that he was emotionally vulnerable in that way does not make mining any different. In the moment that Parker disclosed that he had declared bankruptcy, he accepted defeat, so revealing a level of betrayal that extended beyond monetary considerations.
Walk away.
Yeah, walk away.
I'm gonna go get a thermos.
Is there some gold here?
Yeah, we're gonna waste.
The stark fact that gold mining is unpredictable, hazardous, and may even be downright unpleasant is the subject of this narrative. The devastating disappointment that comes when you pour all you have, time, money, and sweat, into the land and the earth decides to keep its treasures buried is there. The joy of a good haul and the exhilaration of seeing numbers go up are only two examples of the emotions that can be experienced. In his time working in the mining sector, gold miner Parker Schnabel has seen a great deal of failure and difficulty in terms of his finances. In the gold mining industry, the highs are powerful, but the lows cause you to rethink everything, from the decisions you make in business to the relationships you have. Although fame can magnify achievement, it also has the potential to make defeat more isolated. Downsizing is not just about cutting costs. It is also about telling individuals who have put their trust in you that they do not have a job anymore. Parker may have to start making difficult decisions regarding his finances in order to do this. Dominion Creek presents yet another obstacle, which is the looming question of whether or not he will be able to keep things functional. In addition to the need for additional people, fuel, and equipment, the cash flow is beginning to dry up. There have been times when Parker's presence on social media has been a double-edged sword. While social media platforms like as Instagram and Twitter allow him to maintain his connection with his supporters, they also provide the general public with a front-row seat to his shortcomings. It may be challenging to deal with this situation when he is attempting to maintain a positive mood for himself and his staff. The bond that Parker has with his family, and in especially the teachings that he has learned from his grandfather, John Schnabel, is at the center of everything that is going on here.
Are you gonna wheel me up?
Yeah.
Okay, anytime.
Parker has been able to persevere despite the fact that everything else appeared to be coming apart, because he learnt from him the qualities of hard work, tenacity, and perseverance. However, Even these lessons do not necessarily make it easier to accept the hard realities of failure after they have been experienced. The mining of gold is not just about gold. It is also about hope, danger, and the belief that there is something greater waiting for you if you dig deep enough. In spite of the fact that Parker has spent the most of his life believing in that concept, he is suddenly confronted with the opposite side of the coin. When there is no gold at the bottom of the pan, what are the things that happen? Parker is not the first miner to suffer a significant loss, and it is highly unlikely that he will be the last. The fact that Parker is accomplishing all of this while millions of people are watching is what makes him stand out from the crowd. All of the mistakes and failures that have occurred are now available for the general world to view. It won't be simple for Parker to take the next step. It is difficult to make a living in mining, and the financial losses he has sustained are significant. However, it is possible that there is something to be said about the manner in which he continues to get up, even when circumstances appear to be dire. When it comes to gold mining, tenacity is just as important as luck, and Parker possesses both of these qualities in plenty. Is that sufficient to have a positive impact on the situation? Time is the only thing that can tell. A Dutch gold miner, upon discovering that his stationary dredges were not going to get him to his aim, made the decision to concentrate on an abandoned trommel machine that had been constructed by a renegade miner several decades earlier. This is the story that centers around the Dutch gold miner. As opposed to transporting material to a predetermined spot, the trommel provided mobility and the freedom to move with pay soil. In order to return to base camp, the miner was required to disassemble and transport the trommel, which resulted in a daily expenditure of more than $60,000. The steep terrain and boat voyage made the journey challenging. One truck had a damaged tire and twisted rim, but the miner was unharmed. The crew worked hard to disassemble and transfer the trommel, moving the 20-ton drum onto a military tank transporter despite adverse conditions. During the trip, the truck got bogged in the mud and needed a backhoe loader to release it. The mining boss was pleased when they returned the trommel to camp after 3 days. The mobile trommel appeared efficient and flexible since it could handle massive amounts of material faster than anything else the digger had employed. As gold prices were at an all-time high, the miner relied on the trommel. The mining operator always thought long-term and took risks, and the trommel was a future investment. It helped him keep his business going despite all the challenges.
Pipeline to see what happens.
The mining veteran had previously spent over $1 million on a custom excavator to dig 9,000 ounces of gold. His prosperity came from smart investments and taking chances that others wouldn't. The Dutch miner was known for his tough management style, which was not always well appreciated. After throwing gasoline into a dredge pond and lighting it on fire, he was criticized and fined for environmental infractions. His harsh treatment of employees, especially during failures, often irritated them. Safety and the insistence on correcting mistakes created a high-pressure workplace. Living on a reality show made things harder. The prospector was scrutinized by the public because his every move was broadcast. The risk-taker knew his actions would have consequences, whether they violated environmental laws or mistreated his crew. However, he remained true to himself, took risks, took responsibility for his actions, and handled criticism. In the mining veteran's ongoing struggle to remain gold game leader, the trommel was just another episode. The risk-taker had always gambled, and this time it paid off. Mechanical problems and tough terrain plagued Yukon mining. However, his determination was unwavering. It was a gamble, but the trommel helped him meet his output goals and reaffirm his purpose in life.
The Beets family faces a race against time as they try to extract dirt from the frozen mining cut. But as the temperature rises, so do their challenges. Would they be able to fix their problems in time for the day's mine, or would they go back home disappointed? Stay tuned to find out. In the heart of the operation, Kevin Beets finds himself battling a mechanical breakdown in one of the trucks. With the fleet frozen, their efficiency takes a hit, and the pressure is on. He complains sadly about the amount of time they have wasted and how important it is for the continuity of their show that the trucks get back on track. He says that if they don't fix the truck as soon as they can, they will be seriously behind their schedule. Meanwhile, the relentless Ruby Mahoney is digging deep, uncovering signs of gold in the soil. The promise of hitting the fabled white channel page keeps the team motivated, but challenges persist. Back at the truck, Kevin faces another breakdown, putting operations on hold. The radio crackles with urgency as the team scrambles to fix the issues and keep the tight schedule intact. Again, Kevin complains about how hard it is coping with the excesses of the rock, breaking down from time to time without any signs. He emphasizes the need for the trucks to be back in action ASAP. The mining team, despite setbacks, presses on with determination. Tony BC takes charge, strategizing to salvage the situation and keep the mining operation on track. Like Kevin, Tony sees how important it is for them to avoid any more setbacks. Time is of the essence if they want to make the quota for the day. He rallied the team, and soon enough, the machines began to work and they began to set the ball rolling. Over at the wash plant, Fred Lewis seeks guidance from Parker. Equipment issues threaten to compromise Fred's gold production target for the season. Fred and Parker talk about the issues they have with their equipment and the urgent need for a solution, because if they don't find a remedy to this problem, they may not be able to continue with the series. Fred makes the tough call to shut down the wash plant, creating doubt about the viability of reaching the season's gold target. The team, however, remains determined. Just when the morale of the workers seemed to have been given a little push, another problem strikes. Dave encounters difficulties with a jammed tail pulley, causing another setback. The team works tirelessly to resolve the issue and resume operations. Amidst the challenges, a potential gold discovery in a broken rock renews hope for Dave's team. Despite setbacks, the miners remain committed to overcoming obstacles for a successful season. Dave's confidence, and that of the other miners, is renewed by the discovery, despite the hiccups they encountered. He is sure that they will strike gold more than they have ever struck before. In a bold move, Fred Lewis decides to tackle the frozen creek obstructing their mining claim. Facing an icy barrier, the team orchestrates a plan involving a massive pump to melt the ice. The risky operation requires careful navigation, and Fred, tethered to a safety rope, takes the plunge into the unknown. The team successfully activates the pump, spraying a powerful stream of water onto the frozen creek. As the water penetrates the ice, Fred cautiously makes his way across, ensuring the safety of the crew. While the ice slowly yields to the relentless force of the water, concerns arise among the crew. The unpredictability of the situation and the potential risks weigh heavily on their minds. Instead of getting worried and worked up, the crew members enjoy the rush, excitement, and anxiety of the whole season. Their utmost hope, however, is that everything goes according to plan. After hours of vigorously battling the frozen barrier, the team's perseverance pays off. The pump successfully carves a path through the ice, allowing them access to the vital equipment on the other side. With the creek conquered, Fred's team regains access to crucial equipment, and mining operations resume. The victory over the icy challenge injects a renewed sense of determination into the crew as they push forward, undeterred by the harsh Alaskan conditions. As the crew returns to mining operations, they encounter a series of challenges that put their skills and machinery to the test. Faulty equipment and unexpected shutdowns become a recurring theme, threatening the efficiency of the entire operation. The pressure is on as they strive to extract as much gold as possible within a limited time frame. Amidst the chaos, expert operator Ruby Mahoney emerges as a key player. With tenacity and determination, she tirelessly operates the machinery, digging deeper into the cold soil in pursuit of the elusive gold. Ruby's expertise becomes a beacon of hope, providing the team with a glimmer of success in the challenging conditions. Meanwhile, Tony's son Mike leads the charge in a massive effort to strip 700,000 tons of dirt from the cold coat. The goal is to hit Paradise Hill's fabled White Channel Pay within a week. A breakthrough moment occurs as they discover what appears to be the distinctive iron-stained yellow soil, a potential indicator of gold-rich ground. The urgency escalates as unexpected setbacks plague the operation. Kevin, Tony's chief mechanic, faces the challenge of keeping the fleet of rock trucks in working order. With multiple breakdowns and a critical shortage of essential parts, the team is forced to make crucial decisions on the fly, further intensifying the race against time. With the clock ticking, Mike beats strategies to maximize the extraction of dirt from the cold coat. The ambitious goal of hitting Paradise Hill's White Channel Pay within a week requires a relentless pursuit of efficiency. The Beats family invests everything they have, mobilizing their resources to ensure the success of this high-stakes endeavor. The pressure intensifies as Tony's chief mechanic, Kevin Beats, faces a mechanical nightmare. The rock trucks, essential for hauling dirt, face constant breakdowns, each one threatening to derail the entire operation. Kevin's mechanical prowess is put to the ultimate test as he battles missing bolts, broken parts, and a relentless race against time. The turning point arrives as expert operator Ruby Mahoney uncovers signs of gold in the cold coat. The distinctive yellow soil, coupled with rounded riverbed rocks, suggests the presence of gold-rich ground. The discovery ignites a spark of hope, fueling the team's determination to persist in their quest for the legendary White Channel Pay. Meanwhile, mine boss Fred Lewis faces a critical decision. Despite dealing with faulty equipment, Fred remains committed to mining the challenging terrain. However, the gold yields fall significantly short of the targeted 60 ounces per week. Faced with financial challenges and an uncertain future, Fred contemplates the viability of continuing the operation. In a surprising turn of events, Parker Schnabel, a seasoned gold miner, offers his insights to Fred Lewis. Parker, passing by the Lewis mining site on his way to his Alaskan claims, provides valuable advice on the challenges Fred's operation is facing. The encounter sparks a moment of reflection for Fred as he grapples with the complexities of the Alaskan gold mining season. As Kevin Beats battles the mechanical challenges, the urgency to overhaul the rock trucks intensifies. With several bolts missing and crucial components breaking down, the fleet faces a major setback. Kevin, along with the team, engages in a marathon of repairs, welding, and replacements, determined to bring the trucks back into operational condition. Mike Beats takes a calculated risk by leaving the critical mining site to fetch additional trucks from the Indian. Betting on a swift return, Mike leaves the operation in the hands of the remaining crew members. The decision is a high-stakes gamble, hoping that the gain in truck numbers will outweigh the potential loss in operational momentum during his absence. Tony Beats faces a managerial dilemma as the mining operation grapples with unexpected breakdowns and delays. With a third of the rock trucks out of action due to mechanical issues, Tony contemplates alternative plans. The need to balance immediate solutions with long-term strategies puts Tony in a tight spot, testing his leadership in the face of adversity. Expert operator Ruby Mahoney becomes the unsung hero as she embarks on a relentless digging marathon. Working day and night, Ruby pushes the machinery to its limits, determined to reach the fabled White Channel Pay. Her unwavering commitment sets the tone for the entire team, instilling a sense of hope and determination amidst the challenging conditions. Fred Lewis finds himself at a crossroads as the challenges mount. With only 118 ounces of gold, well short of the targeted 500 ounces for the season, Fred contemplates the harsh reality. The race against time becomes more pressing as winter looms, adding a layer of complexity to the already challenging decision-making process. The unforgiving Alaskan wilderness continues to throw curveballs at the miners, from mechanical breakdowns to managerial dilemmas and the relentless pursuit of gold. The unpredictable nature of the terrain tests the resilience, adaptability, and sheer determination of each team member. As they navigate through the twists and turns, the outcome remains uncertain, making every decision a critical turning point in the quest for Alaskan gold. The mining drama continues, with each twist and turn testing the miners' resilience and determination. Will their collective efforts lead them to the golden bounty they seek, or will the challenges prove insurmountable? Stay tuned for the next thrilling chapter of Gold Rush Trials of the Thaw. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this roller coaster journey through the Alaskan wilderness. Rick Ness, recognized primarily for his role on Discovery Channel's Gold Rush, has garnered a substantial fan base owing to his appealing demeanor. Additionally, he has been featured in various spin-offs like Gold Rush, Parker's Trail, and Gold Rush the Dirt. Rick Ness, born on March 5, 1981 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, spent his formative years in the company of his twin brother. Growing up in the heart of Wisconsin, Ness developed a deep-rooted passion for football, which became a central part of his identity. His dedication to the sport was evident from his early days, and he quickly became a standout player on his school's football team, showcasing immense talent and potential. With dreams of making it big in the world of football, Ness's trajectory seemed promising as he earned recognition not only locally, but also within the college football circuit. However, fate had other plans for him. Just as he was on the brink of stepping into the realm of professional football, a devastating injury struck, abruptly halting his athletic aspirations. Undeterred by this setback, Ness refused to let adversity define him. Turning his attention to another passion of his, music, he embarked on a new journey. Teaching himself to play the upright bass, Ness immersed himself in the world of music, discovering a newfound outlet for his creativity and expression. Fueled by his love for music, Ness co-founded the 375 String Band, a musical ensemble that would soon captivate audiences far and wide with its unique blend of bluegrass and folk-inspired melodies. With Ness's talent as a musician and his unwavering determination, the band soared to new heights, releasing 3 critically acclaimed albums and embarking on exhilarating tours across the globe. Through his resilience and versatility, Ness not only reinvented himself, but also carved out a distinct path for his artistic endeavors, leaving an indelible mark on both the realms of sports and music. Long before his television debut on Gold Rush, Rick Ness was already immersed in a world of hard work and hands-on experience. Alongside his brother Randy, Rick spent years working at their family's construction company in Escanaba, Michigan. It was here that he gained invaluable knowledge and skills in operating heavy machinery, learning the ins and outs of construction and excavation. Despite his proficiency in construction, Rick's interests extended beyond the confines of his family's business. His curiosity and drive led him to explore new horizons, including the world of gold mining. It was during one of his ventures outside of the construction realm that Rick's path intersected with Parker Schnabel's at the Southeast Alaskan State Fair. At the fairgrounds, amidst the excitement and camaraderie of the event, Rick and Parker struck up a conversation that would change the course of Rick's life. Despite his lack of direct mining experience, Rick's familiarity with heavy machinery caught Parker's attention. Moreover, Rick's genuine interest in the intricacies of gold mining resonated with Parker, who was leading his own mining crew on Gold Rush at the time. Their conversation planted the seeds of a new partnership and opportunity for Rick. Despite the challenges and uncertainties that lay ahead, Rick's willingness to embrace the unknown and his passion for adventure ultimately led him to join Parker's mining crew. This marked the beginning of Rick's journey into the world of televised gold mining, where his skills, determination, and adaptability would be put to the test in the pursuit of gold and glory. Parker Schnabel, being not only a colleague but also a friend, stood firmly behind Rick Ness when he expressed his desire to venture into independent mining. Recognizing Rick's determination and passion, Parker provided unwavering support as Rick embarked on this new chapter of his mining career. In the 9th season of Discovery Channel's highly popular series, Rick's journey as an independent miner unfolded before the audience's eyes. With his own crew by his side, Rick navigated the challenges and triumphs of running his own operation. From the intricacies of prospecting to the demanding tasks of extraction, Rick and his team tackled each obstacle with grit and determination, ultimately achieving remarkable success. Throughout the season, viewers witnessed the fruits of Rick's labor as he and his crew unearthed an impressive 105 ounces of gold, a feat that not only solidified Rick's position as a capable miner, but also showcased his entrepreneurial spirit and leadership prowess. Beyond the realm of reality television, Rick's financial success is a testament to his dedication and hard work. As a main cast member of Gold Rush, where the primary objective is to strike gold, Rick commands a substantial salary reflective of his contributions to the show. Additionally, his ventures in the mining business have proven lucrative, further bolstering his financial standing. Yet Rick's financial portfolio extends beyond mining. His foray into the music industry, albeit brief, has left a lasting impact on his earnings. With a net worth reported at $3 million, Rick's multifaceted career and diverse talents continue to propel him to greater financial heights, solidifying his status as a prominent figure in both the mining and entertainment worlds. As Rick Ness plunges into the heart of the gold mining season, he finds himself embroiled in a high-stakes race against the clock. His eyes are firmly fixed on the prize, reaching the elusive target of 2,000 ounces of gold, the pinnacle of success for any miner. However, the path to glory is fraught with obstacles, and Rick's journey is no exception. The latest hurdle comes in the form of a daunting setback: the reduction of Monster Red's processing speed from a robust 300 yards of dirt per hour to a mere 200. This unforeseen turn of events threatens to derail Rick's ambitious plans and jeopardize his chances of achieving the season's most substantial payday. With each passing hour, Rick is acutely aware of the potential losses in gold revenue, a daunting prospect that looms over him like a dark cloud. Undeterred by the setback, Rick rolls up his sleeves and dives headfirst into troubleshooting mode. His keen eye for problem-solving is put to the test as he grapples with the operational issues plaguing Monster Red, particularly with the malfunctioning seat conveyor. Aware of the urgent need for a solution, Rick takes decisive action, dialing back the processing speed to mitigate further damage while he awaits assistance. The gravity of the situation is not lost on Rick, who understands the critical importance of maintaining momentum in a relentless quest for gold. With an unwavering determination, he braces himself for the challenges ahead, knowing full well that the road to success is fraught with twists and turns. Despite the mounting pressure and the weight of expectations bearing down on him, Rick remains resolute in his resolve to overcome adversity and emerge triumphant in his pursuit of the ultimate gold mining prize. As Rick awaits the arrival of the technicians, anticipation and apprehension mingle in the air. Every passing moment brings with it a glimmer of hope that the impending solution will offer a reprieve, a lifeline that could potentially salvage his ambitions and propel him closer to his gold mining dreams. In the midst of uncertainty, Rick clings to the belief that perseverance, coupled with a stroke of luck, will ultimately tip the scales in his favor, leading him one step closer to the coveted 2,000-ounce milestone and the riches that lie beyond. Rick Ness reported that they had the earnings plant up and running, but he expressed doubt about its effectiveness. He mentioned that the current operation wouldn't get them anywhere near their goal, and suggested they might as well have stuck with the previous setup. He then greeted Proctor Barry and acknowledged him as the person he had been communicating with. Rick explained that he had increased the speed, but it seemed the equipment couldn't handle it. He elaborated that the problem was the risk of round rock occurring at that speed, causing the rocks to tumble back down the conveyor, as he had previously mentioned. Rick Ness conveyed the urgency of the situation, emphasizing the need to maximize efficiency for the remainder of the season. He expressed his concern about running out of time and stressed the importance of increasing the processing speed to its maximum potential. Currently operating at about 200 yards per hour, Rick aimed to elevate it to 300 yards per hour. In discussion with his team, including Barry Proctor and Scott Ezekiel, Rick proposed a solution to improve the operation's effectiveness. He suggested constructing a set of fingers, strategically positioned to prevent rocks from tumbling back down the conveyor. This innovative approach aimed to optimize the processing system, ensuring a smoother and more efficient workflow moving forward. In collaboration with his team, Rick envisioned a finger trap, a frame equipped with 8 metal fingers suspended from a horizontal beam. This device would serve as a barrier, intercepting rocks and preventing them from impeding the operation's progress. Through careful planning and teamwork, Rick and his colleagues embarked on a mission to enhance their mining operation, overcoming challenges and striving for success in their quest for gold. The fingers allow pay dirt and smaller rocks to pass through unhindered, ensuring a smooth flow of material into the processing plant. However, any larger rocks or debris rolling down the conveyor are intercepted by the fingers, preventing them from causing disruptions to the operation. These rocks are then captured and carried up to the plant, where they can be processed along with the pay dirt. Acknowledging the effectiveness of the proposed solution, Rick expressed his concern about the time required to implement it. Barry and Scott estimated that the construction process would likely take 4 to 5 hours, necessitating a temporary shutdown of the operation. Understanding the urgency of the situation, Rick requested a brief pause of 15-20 minutes to facilitate the installation of the finger trap. With the plan in place, Rick expressed his gratitude to the team for their efforts and cooperation. He recognized the importance of their collaboration in overcoming challenges and improving the efficiency of the mining operation. Barry and Scott were tasked with constructing the finger trap using salvaged scraps from Rick's boneyard, demonstrating resourcefulness and ingenuity in finding solutions to operational hurdles. With the construction of the finger trap complete, Rick and his team were ready to put their solution to the test. They gathered the necessary materials, including 4-inch square tubing, HSS, flat bars, and channel, ensuring that they had everything required to make the finger trap a success. With a sense of confidence and anticipation, Rick declared that their creation would indeed do the trick. As the team got to work assembling the finger trap, they worked efficiently and methodically, with each member contributing their skills and expertise. Rick reminded everyone to watch their hands and stay safe as they completed the final steps of the construction process. With the finger trap now installed and operational, Rick shut down the operation momentarily to allow for a quick inspection. Scott, who had been instrumental in the construction process, gave the finger trap a thorough examination and confirmed that it looked good and was ready for testing. With a sense of excitement, the team wasted no time in resuming operations, eager to see if their solution would yield the desired results. Rick wasted no time cranking up the processing speed to 300 yards per hour, eager to put the finger trap through its paces. As the conveyor belts whirred back to life and material began flowing through the system once more, anticipation filled the air. With the finger trap in place, Rick and his crew were poised to discover if they had struck high-grade pay dirt in the Raleigh Valley, a momentous occasion that would mark a significant milestone in their mining endeavors. The conversation turned to the changing of the seasons, with a sense of concern creeping in about the sudden onset of yellowing leaves and the rapidly cooling temperatures. The abrupt transition to autumn seemed to catch everyone off guard, with the days becoming noticeably shorter in what felt like the blink of an eye. Despite the unsettling pace of change, there was a sense of camaraderie among the team, united by their shared experiences and the challenges of their work. One member of the crew remarked on the irony of their situation, jokingly suggesting that they were all in their line of work because they weren't suited for anything else. The lighthearted banter served as a moment of levity amidst the seriousness of their task. Suddenly, a metallic clink caught their attention, prompting a pause in the conversation. Upon closer inspection, they realized that the sound was not from lead, as initially assumed, but rather from gold, a discovery that elicited a mix of excitement and disbelief among the crew. The weight of the revelation hung heavy in the air, underscoring the significance of their work and the potential rewards that lay within their grasp. Reflecting on the week's progress, one member admitted to succumbing to temptation and increasing the processing speed in a bid to maximize their output. It was a moment of candor that highlighted the ever-present pressure to succeed in their demanding line of work, where even the smallest decisions could have significant consequences. Despite the capacity of their equipment, Rick acknowledged that the round rocks in the area posed a unique challenge. They had a tendency to roll back, hindering their operations' efficiency. While they weren't able to run at maximum capacity for the entire week, they still managed to put in a solid effort, sluicing for a total of 70 hours, albeit dialing back the processing speed to 200 yards per hour on some days. Eager to see the fruits of their labor, Rick and the crew decided to take a look at their weekly haul. With anticipation building, they gathered around as Rick began to weigh the gold. The tension mounted as the scale ticked higher and higher, surpassing even Rick's expectations. It became clear that they had struck it big. A whopping 580 ounces of gold, worth an impressive $325,000. Amidst the celebration, Rick expressed his gratitude to the team for their hard work and dedication. He marveled at the magnitude of their achievement, noting that it was one of the biggest gold hauls they had ever seen. With their total now exceeding 1,000 ounces for the season, Rick was filled with renewed optimism for the future. As they basked in the glow of their success, Rick couldn't help but joke about the inconvenience of having to leave his beer behind in order to carry 2 pans of gold. It was a moment of camaraderie and triumph, a testament to the resilience and determination of Rick and his crew in the face of adversity. With their sights set on even greater riches ahead, Rick and the crew prepared to embark on the next phase of their journey, fueled by the promise of more gold and the camaraderie that comes from working together towards a common goal. Rick Ness has proven he has what it takes to hack it in the mining industry. In the glittering world of gold mining, where fortunes are dug from the heart of the earth, one name stands out: Rick Ness. Known for his uncanny ability to strike gold, Rick has etched his legacy in the Klondike's history. But hold on. This time, Rick's journey takes an unexpected turn. He faces a pivotal moment that could reshape his mining future. What life-altering decision has Rick made, and how will it steer the course of his gold-hunting saga? There's more. Brace yourselves for the arrival of an inspiring figure, ready to lend a helping hand in Rick's most challenging hour. Who is this mystery person, and how will they impact Rick's quest for gold? Join us to delve into a mining adventure like never before that will lead to Rick's biggest gold haul ever. Success isn't just about luck, it's about rolling up your sleeves and putting in the hard work. That's something that the indomitable Rick Ness believes in. Now, he finds himself facing a daunting challenge. A gold production goal that seems to be slipping through his fingers. Despite the hefty investments in top-tier equipment, Rick is dealing with machinery issues. Different hurdles are emerging, putting a wrench in the gears of progress, but the twists and turns in this mining saga don't end there. On top of all that, Rick is at a crossroads, facing a crucial decision about the ownership of the land. But the heart of the challenge lies in the earth itself. The act of digging and extracting precious gold from the depths becomes a battle against time and nature. It's a struggle that Rick faces head-on, with determination etched on his face. In the vast expanse of the mining frontier, Rick Ness is facing a pivotal moment in his gold-hunting journey. Having staked his entire season on a daring move, a deep cut that promised a potential $5 million in gold, the reality is not living up to the glittering dream. The 190-foot deep cut, the bold gamble that could lead to a substantial payday, is yet to yield the expected results. The goal is 2,000 ounces of gold, but this weight of the goal hangs heavy on Ness's shoulders, not just for the sake of his crew, but for his own survival in the unforgiving world of gold mining. A world into which Rick has poured his heart, soul, and a considerable amount of resources, expecting a gold rush that would make headlines. However, the reality is a bit different. The very ground he walks on holds the key to his mining empire's destiny. However, the landowner has different plans for Rick. Troy Taylor, who is the owner of Duncan Creek, the claim on which Rick is working under the lease, pays an unexpected visit to Rick, who is already under stress for not meeting the gold production goal. Cutting right to the chase, Rick questions the purpose behind Taylor's unanticipated visit, and Taylor, without beating around the bush, dives straight into the heart of the matter. His revelation hangs in the air, laden with potential implications. He wants to sell the Duncan Creek. Rick is now confronted with a significant personal decision. The prospect of owning his own ground looms large, and the gravity of this choice could reshape the entire trajectory of his mining journey. Imagine the dilemma. On one side, the security of owning the land beneath which potential fortunes lie, and on the other, the challenge of meeting the production goals with the clock ticking. It's a decision that could either propel Rick into a new era of mining success or add another layer of complexity to his already intricate venture. But that's not the interesting part. Taylor, with a matter-of-fact demeanor, reveals the terms. $250,000 as a down payment, equivalent to 150 ounces of gold. Now that's how you make a deal with the gold diggers. Surprised by the unexpected proposition, Rick finds himself deep in thought. The idea of owning the very land he's been working on is both appealing and overwhelming. Unsure about taking such a significant step, Rick acknowledges that he is not sure if he can take such a massive step at this already challenging moment. The financial commitment attached to this decision plays on his mind, creating a whirlwind of considerations. As the discussion unfolds, Rick wrestles with the weight of this unforeseen opportunity. The offer of $250,000 or 150 ounces of gold is undeniably substantial. Troy Taylor, after presenting the terms, leaves Rick to contemplate the magnitude of the decision. The gravity of the situation hangs in the air, and Rick is left to grapple with the potential impact on his gold mining journey. The allure of ownership clashes with the daunting prospect of financial responsibility, setting the stage for a pivotal moment in Rick Ness's mining saga. How will the mind boss navigate this unexpected twist in the tale? Will he seize the opportunity, or will the weight of the decision prove too much? The stakes are high, the pressure is on, and the future of Duncan Creek claims hangs in the balance, but it's the mind boss we're talking about. And to make the decision, he has to tackle the other obstacles first. Every miner knows that a glitch in the machinery can translate to lost time and, more importantly, lost gold. Despite heavy investments and state-of-the-art machinery worth millions, the results are not quite hitting the mark. It's a tough spot to be in, especially when your aspirations are as grand as Rick's. The machinery, boasting cutting-edge technology, stands as a testament to Rick's commitment. But, as every seasoned miner knows, the gold beneath the ground doesn't always give in easily. Rick is stuck dealing with a big problem, and he can't tackle it solo. He's in need of help, but the question is, who can he turn to? The first person who crosses Rick's mind in this crucial moment is none other than his reliable dad. With winter approaching, he calls his father for assistance, hoping to bring in the energy needed to finish the season strong. Rick's dad shows up and is pretty amazed by the whole mining setup. He's all in to help out however he can. The two of them now tackle the problem together, dealing with the challenges of mining and figuring out a way forward. The first problem he deals with is the wash plant. With Monster Red running on a tight crew, Rick faces a tough time finding more workers. His dad jumps in to lend a hand and keep things going smoothly. Seeing the mining operation scale, Rick's dad figures he can help out. Without any hesitation, he gets down to work, doing everything needed to keep Monster Red up and running. At Duncan Creek, Rick encounters a hurdle with his 700 excavator. A cracked hydraulic line threatens to slow down the crucial task of clearing tailings. It's a setback that demands immediate attention. Rick, with a determined look on his face, asks his dad to help there too. Rick's dad, not a stranger to hard work, steps into the role of a makeshift mechanic. With tools in hand, they inspect the excavator, and the problem becomes clear: a cracked hydraulic line. It's a hands-on challenge, but Rick's dad isn't one to back down. They work together, making the welding process seem like a puzzle they are determined to solve. After a series of intense efforts, welding, and a bit of elbow grease, the hydraulic issue is fixed. The 700 excavator roars back to life, ready to dig into the tailings and keep the gold production on track. It's a testament to the resilience of the team and their ability to handle unexpected setbacks. With the excavator back in action, the crew dives back into their work, ensuring that every bucket of pay dirt contributes to their season's ambitious gold goal. Whether it's fixing up equipment or helping out in the wash plant, Rick's dad becomes a key part of the team. His experience and hands-on approach bring a new burst of energy, making sure every part of the mining process works like a well-oiled machine. The teamwork between father and son turns challenges into victories. Together, they tackle the ups and downs of mining life, using their combined knowledge to handle whatever comes their way. As Monster Red chews through the pay dirt, it's not just the machines doing the heavy lifting. It's the power of a united team working towards those big gold goals. Despite the challenges, including equipment breakdowns and a flooded cut, the team is determined to reach the season's gold target of 2,000 ounces. The camaraderie between Rick and his dad becomes evident as they tackle repairs together. From fixing machinery issues to maintaining equipment, it's a hands-on collaboration that highlights the importance of a reliable support system. Rick's dad, a testament to the saying, "Actions speak louder than words," embodies the spirit of a true partner in this challenging gold mining journey. Even with the valuable assistance from his dad, Rick finds himself caught in a web of challenges that extend beyond the immediate repairs. In the pursuit of the elusive gold goal and land ownership, Rick must not only contend with mechanical hurdles but also navigate the intricate dynamics of the gold mining world. Each step forward requires a careful calculation, a strategic move, and a relentless determination to overcome whatever obstacles lay in his path. The journey is far from over, and the suspense continues to build as Rick strives to turn his mining dream into a golden reality. And to achieve his dream, he has to beat the cold. As winter's chill creeps in, Rick Ness finds himself standing at the crossroads of a critical decision: how to increase gold production before the icy grip of winter puts a freeze on their operations. Feeling the weight of the looming goal and the pressure to deliver, Rick huddles with his crew, including Kyle Lawson, a newcomer to the gold mining scene with an ironworking background. What steps can Rick take to boost production before the ground freezes and winter poses a threat to his gold mining goals? So, in a bold move, Rick proposes a plan that could potentially change the game. He suggests the simultaneous operation of both wash plants, Monster Red and the trusty Rocky. It's a strategy that, if executed flawlessly, could significantly elevate their gold output. Kyle Lawson, despite being relatively new to the gold mining arena, is entrusted with the responsibility of operating one of the wash plants solo. Can Rick's trusted crew member, Kyle Lawson, uphold the trust placed in him and assist Rick in achieving his dream gold haul? Well, the announcement hung in the air and the crew sensed the gravity of the situation, and Kyle, with a mix of nerves and determination, accepted the challenge. Operating a wash plant alone can be quite overwhelming, especially for someone still getting the hang of things. The potential challenges, especially the threat of tailings causing blockages, are significant concerns. Duncan Creek is ready for a high-stakes operation. With determination etched on his face, Kyle makes his way to the wash plant. The rhythmic hum of the machinery echoes through the mining site as Kyle navigates through the controls, juggling the intricate dance of equipment and pay dirt. The crew watches with bated breath, unsure of what the outcome will be. Despite the initial nervousness, Kyle begins to find his rhythm. The wash plant responds to his commands, and the pay dirt starts flowing smoothly. The potential catastrophe of tailings causing a shutdown becomes a distant worry as Kyle defies the odds and keeps the operation running like a well-oiled machine. Another problem solved, and now just one to go, till Rick smoothens his journey towards his goal. Rick Ness is facing another tough challenge that could make or break his entire season. The crew has been digging for 10 weeks, and finally, they hit the good pay layer they've been aiming for. But there's a major setback. The whole area is flooded with 6 feet of water. To tackle this problem, Rick decides to bring in a robust 10-inch pump, generously provided by the landowner, Troy Taylor. The team gets to work, setting up the pump with hopes that it can handle the large volume of water in the cut. Success with the pump is crucial because it's the key to drying out the area, enabling them to get to the valuable pay dirt below. Despite facing obstacles, including the hefty $40,000 cost of the pump, Rick stays positive and determined. The moment arrives as the pump kicks into action, proving its worth against the waterlogged conditions. With the flooded area slowly drying up, the crew can finally focus on what they came for, extracting the long-awaited, valuable pay dirt that could turn their luck around. As the week unfolds, the results exceed expectations. The gold weight from Monster Red and Rocky combined paints a picture of success. The decision to entrust Kyle with a crucial role pays off. Rick's strategies and his dad's love prove that sometimes the boldest moves and the company of the loved ones lead to the greatest victories. After the challenges, the narrative takes an unexpected turn, injecting a dose of triumph into the mining saga. The crew, once faced with uncertainty, now stands united, motivated by the success of a well-executed plan because they are about to achieve the unexpected. So, here they have it. A whopping 219.8 ounces out of Monster Red and an additional 95 ounces from Rocky. Time for drumroll, because the grand total stands at an impressive 315 ounces, translating to over $500,000. You heard it right, folks. This is not just another gold weigh-in. It's a record breaker. The excitement can be seen as Rick and the crew revel in the victory. This achievement marks their biggest gold haul ever, a remarkable feat that's sure to go down in mining history. The mining site buzzes with newfound energy, and Rick's gamble seems to be steering them in the right direction. This success is not just a number on the scale. It's a testament to their resilience, determination, and the unwavering spirit of the team. But there is still one thing to do. The taste of success lingers in the crisp Klondike air as Rick heads to meet with none other than Troy Taylor. In a moment of revelation, Rick unveils his decision. The words hang in the air as Troy Taylor's eyes light up, mirroring the excitement of sealing the deal. Rick declares that he is ready to buy, making it clear that he's ready to take the plunge and make a substantial commitment. Despite recent challenges, the crew comes together to celebrate their hard-earned success. Cheers echo through Rally Valley, a testament to their resilience in the face of adversity. The journey is far from over, and Rick Ness is unwavering in his quest for the hidden treasure beneath the Klondike soil. Can Rally Valley yield the massive gold discovery that could change Rick's mining destiny? The adventure presses on, with each ounce of gold bringing them closer to their ultimate goal and every challenge strengthening the crew's determination. The Rally Valley saga unfolds, and only time will reveal the true extent of the gold-rich bounty waiting to be unearthed. In the glittering world of gold mining, where fortunes are dug from the heart of the earth, one name stands out: Rick Ness. Known for his uncanny ability to strike gold, Rick has etched his legacy in the Klondike's history. But hold on. This time, Rick's journey takes an unexpected turn. He faces a pivotal moment that could reshape his mining future. What life-altering decision has Rick made, and how will it steer the course of his gold-hunting saga? There's more. Brace yourselves for the arrival of an inspiring figure, ready to lend a helping hand in Rick's most challenging hour. Who is this mystery person, and how will they impact Rick's quest for gold? Join us to delve into a mining adventure like never before that will lead to Rick's biggest gold haul ever. Success isn't just about luck, it's about rolling up your sleeves and putting in the hard work. That's something that the indomitable Rick Ness believes in. Now, he finds himself facing a daunting challenge, a gold production goal that seems to be slipping through his fingers. Despite the hefty investments in top-tier equipment, Rick is dealing with machinery issues. Different hurdles are emerging, putting a wrench in the gears of progress, but the twists and turns in this mining saga don't end there. On top of all that, Rick is at a crossroads, facing a crucial decision about the ownership of the land. But the heart of the challenge lies in the earth itself. The act of digging and extracting precious gold from the depths becomes a battle against time and nature. It's a struggle that Rick faces head-on, with determination etched on his face. In the vast expanse of the mining frontier, Rick Ness is facing a pivotal moment in his gold hunting journey. Having staked his entire season on a daring move, a deep cut that promised a potential $5 million in gold, the reality is not living up to the glittering dream. The 190-foot deep cut, the bold gamble that could lead to a substantial payday, is yet to yield the expected results. The goal is 2,000 ounces of gold, but this weight of the goal hangs heavy on Ness's shoulders, not just for the sake of his crew, but for his own survival in the unforgiving world of gold mining. A world into which Rick has poured his heart, soul, and a considerable amount of resources, expecting a gold rush that would make headlines. However, the reality is a bit different. The very ground he walks on holds the key to his mining empire's destiny. However, the landowner has different plans for Rick. Troy Taylor, who is the owner of Duncan Creek, the claim on which Rick is working under the lease, pays an unexpected visit to Rick, who is already under stress for not meeting the gold production goal. Cutting right to the chase, Rick questions the purpose behind Taylor's unanticipated visit, and Taylor, without beating around the bush, dives straight into the heart of the matter. His revelation hangs in the air, laden with potential implications. He wants to sell the Duncan Creek. Rick is now confronted with a significant personal decision. The prospect of owning his own ground looms large, and the gravity of this choice could reshape the entire trajectory of his mining journey. Imagine the dilemma. On one side, the security of owning the land beneath which potential fortunes lie, and on the other, the challenge of meeting the production goals with the clock ticking. It's a decision that could either propel Rick into a new era of mining success or add another layer of complexity to his already intricate venture. But that's not the interesting part. Taylor, with a matter-of-fact demeanor, reveals the terms. $250,000 as a down payment, equivalent to 150 ounces of gold. Now that's how you make a deal with the gold diggers. Surprised by the unexpected proposition, Rick finds himself deep in thought. The idea of owning the very land he's been working on is both appealing and overwhelming. Unsure about taking such a significant step, Rick acknowledges that he is not sure if he can take such a massive step at this already challenging moment. The financial commitment attached to this decision plays on his mind, creating a whirlwind of considerations. As the discussion unfolds, Rick wrestles with the weight of this unforeseen opportunity. The offer of $250,000 or 150 ounces of gold is undeniably substantial. Troy Taylor, after presenting the terms, leaves Rick to contemplate the magnitude of the decision. The gravity of the situation hangs in the air, and Rick is left to grapple with the potential impact on his gold mining journey. The allure of ownership clashes with the daunting prospect of financial responsibility, setting the stage for a pivotal moment in Rick Ness's mining saga. How will the mind boss navigate this unexpected twist in the tale? Will he seize the opportunity, or will the weight of the decision prove too much? The stakes are high, the pressure is on, and the future of Duncan Creek claims hangs in the balance, but it's the mind boss we're talking about. And to make the decision, he has to tackle the other obstacles first. Every miner knows that a glitch in the machinery can translate to lost time and, more importantly, lost gold. Despite heavy investments and state-of-the-art machinery worth millions, the results are not quite hitting the mark. It's a tough spot to be in, especially when your aspirations are as grand as Rick's. The machinery, boasting cutting-edge technology, stands as a testament to Rick's commitment. But, as every seasoned miner knows, the gold beneath the ground doesn't always give in easily. Rick is stuck dealing with a big problem, and he can't tackle it solo. He's in need of help, but the question is, who can he turn to? The first person who crosses Rick's mind in this crucial moment is none other than his reliable dad. With winter approaching, he calls his father for assistance, hoping to bring in the energy needed to finish the season strong. Rick's dad shows up and is pretty amazed by the whole mining setup. He's all in to help out however he can. The two of them now tackle the problem together, dealing with the challenges of mining and figuring out a way forward. The first problem he deals with is the wash plant. With Monster Red running on a tight crew, Rick faces a tough time finding more workers. His dad jumps in to lend a hand and keep things going smoothly. Seeing the mining operations scale, Rick's dad figures he can help out. Without any hesitation, he gets down to work, doing everything needed to keep Monster Red up and running. At Duncan Creek, Rick encounters a hurdle with his 700 excavator. A cracked hydraulic line threatens to slow down the crucial task of clearing tailings. It's a setback that demands immediate attention. Rick, with a determined look on his face, asks his dad to help there too. Rick's dad, not a stranger to hard work, steps into the role of a makeshift mechanic. With tools in hand, they inspect the excavator, and the problem becomes clear: a cracked hydraulic line. It's a hands-on challenge, but Rick's dad isn't one to back down. They work together, making the welding process seem like a puzzle they are determined to solve. After a series of intense efforts, welding, and a bit of elbow grease, the hydraulic issue is fixed. The 700 excavator roars back to life, ready to dig into the tailings and keep the gold production on track. It's a testament to the resilience of the team and their ability to handle unexpected setbacks. With the excavator back in action, the crew dives back into their work, ensuring that every bucket of pay dirt contributes to their season's ambitious gold goal. Whether it's fixing up equipment or helping out in the wash plant, Rick's dad becomes a key part of the team. His experience and hands-on approach bring a new burst of energy, making sure every part of the mining process works like a well-oiled machine. The teamwork between father and son turns challenges into victories. Together, they tackle the ups and downs of mining life, using their combined knowledge to handle whatever comes their way. As Monster Red chews through the pay dirt, it's not just the machines doing the heavy lifting. It's the power of a united team working towards those big gold goals. Despite the challenges, including equipment breakdowns and a flooded cut, the team is determined to reach the season's gold target of 2,000 ounces. The camaraderie between Rick and his dad becomes evident as they tackle repairs together. From fixing machinery issues to maintaining equipment, it's a hands-on collaboration that highlights the importance of a reliable support system. Rick's dad, a testament to the saying, "Actions speak louder than words," embodies the spirit of a true partner in this challenging gold mining journey. Even with the valuable assistance from his dad, Rick finds himself caught in a web of challenges that extend beyond the immediate repairs. In the pursuit of the elusive gold goal and land ownership, Rick must not only contend with mechanical hurdles but also navigate the intricate dynamics of the gold mining world. Each step forward requires a careful calculation, a strategic move, and a relentless determination to overcome whatever obstacles lay in his path. The journey is far from over, and the suspense continues to build as Rick strives to turn his mining dream into a golden reality. And to achieve his dream, he has to beat the cold. As winter's chill creeps in, Rick Ness finds himself standing at the crossroads of a critical decision: how to increase gold production before the icy grip of winter puts a freeze on their operations. Feeling the weight of the looming goal and the pressure to deliver, Rick huddles with his crew, including Kyle Lawson, a newcomer to the gold mining scene with an ironworking background. What steps can Rick take to boost production before the ground freezes and winter poses a threat to his gold mining goals? So, in a bold move, Rick proposes a plan that could potentially change the game. He suggests the simultaneous operation of both wash plants, Monster Red and the Trusty Rocky. It's a strategy that, if executed flawlessly, could significantly elevate their gold output. Kyle Lawson, despite being relatively new to the gold mining arena, is entrusted with the responsibility of operating one of the wash plants solo. Can Rick's trusted crew member, Kyle Lawson, uphold the trust placed in him and assist Rick in achieving his dream gold haul? Well, the announcement hung in the air and the crew sensed the gravity of the situation, and Kyle, with a mix of nerves and determination, accepted the challenge. Operating a wash plant alone can be quite overwhelming, especially for someone still getting the hang of things. The potential challenges, especially the threat of tailings causing blockages, are significant concerns. Duncan Creek is ready for a high-stakes operation. With determination etched on his face, Kyle makes his way to the wash plant. The rhythmic hum of the machinery echoes through the mining site as Kyle navigates through the controls, juggling the intricate dance of equipment and pay dirt. The crew watches with bated breath, unsure of what the outcome will be. Despite the initial nervousness, Kyle begins to find his rhythm. The wash plant responds to his commands, and the pay dirt starts flowing smoothly. The potential catastrophe of tailings causing a shutdown becomes a distant worry as Kyle defies the odds and keeps the operation running like a well-oiled machine. Another problem solved, and now just one to go, till Rick smoothens his journey towards his goal. Rick Ness is facing another tough challenge that could make or break his entire season. The crew has been digging for 10 weeks, and finally, they hit the good pay layer they've been aiming for. But there's a major setback. The whole area is flooded with 6 feet of water. To tackle this problem, Rick decides to bring in a robust 10-inch pump, generously provided by the landowner, Troy Taylor. The team gets to work, setting up the pump with hopes that it can handle the large volume of water in the cut. Success with the pump is crucial because it's the key to drying out the area, enabling them to get to the valuable pay dirt below. Despite facing obstacles, including the hefty $40,000 cost of the pump, Rick stays positive and determined. The moment arrives as the pump kicks into action, proving its worth against the waterlogged conditions. With the flooded area slowly drying up, the crew can finally focus on what they came for, extracting the long-awaited, valuable pay dirt that could turn their luck around. As the week unfolds, the results exceed expectations. The gold weight from Monster Red and Rocky combined paints a picture of success. The decision to entrust Kyle with a crucial role pays off. Rick's strategies and his dad's love prove that sometimes the boldest moves and the company of the loved ones lead to the greatest victories. After the challenges, the narrative takes an unexpected turn, injecting a dose of triumph into the mining saga. The crew, once faced with uncertainty, now stands united, motivated by the success of a well-executed plan because they are about to achieve the unexpected. So, here they have it. A whopping 219.8 ounces out of Monster Red and an additional 95 ounces from Rocky. Time for drumroll, because the grand total stands at an impressive 315 ounces, translating to over $500,000. You heard it right, folks. This is not just another gold weigh-in. It's a record breaker. The excitement can be seen as Rick and the crew revel in the victory. This achievement marks their biggest gold haul ever, a remarkable feat that's sure to go down in mining history. The mining site buzzes with newfound energy, and Rick's gamble seems to be steering them in the right direction. This success is not just a number on the scale. It's a testament to their resilience, determination, and the unwavering spirit of the team. But there is still one thing to do. The taste of success lingers in the crisp Klondike air as Rick heads to meet with none other than Troy Taylor. In a moment of revelation, Rick unveils his decision. The words hang in the air as Troy Taylor's eyes light up, mirroring the excitement of sealing the deal. Rick declares that he is ready to buy, making it clear that he's ready to take the plunge and make a substantial commitment. Despite recent challenges, the crew comes together to celebrate their hard-earned success. Cheers echo through Rally Valley, a testament to their resilience in the face of adversity. The journey is far from over, and Rick Ness is unwavering in his quest for the hidden treasure beneath the Klondike soil. Can Rally Valley yield the massive gold discovery that could change Rick's mining destiny? The adventure presses on, with each ounce of gold bringing them closer to their ultimate goal and every challenge strengthening the crew's determination. The Rally Valley saga unfolds, and only time will reveal the true extent of the gold-rich bounty waiting to be unearthed. At the height of the gold rush, Rick Ness was one of the most successful miners. He lost his mind when a rookie mechanic fixed his $1 million excavator. A little boy did fix his $1 million machine. We will look at the details and ups and downs of Rick Ness's mining operations in this video. We will see how the seasons changed, how technology broke down, and how driven Ness was to find rare gold. Come with us as we look at the exciting shows, with a focus on how Rick Ness's never-ending search for wealth in the hard desert changes, succeeds, and fails. In his never-ending search for money, Rick finds himself traveling into uncharted territory because he thinks he has found his most important goal yet. His huge machine for moving dirt is gone, and his team is getting smaller. The odds are against him. When Rick realizes how serious the situation is and posts that a skilled mechanic is needed right away, it's a turning point. Now, a 20-year-old student becomes an important figure because he is asked to show off his skills by building the complex, multi-million-dollar 750 backhoe. The apprentice carefully attaches the bucket and 750 book stick, showing how complicated the job is. They were moved safely by a movable base set to a small gauge. The thought of having to deal with Duncan Creek's various terrain adds another level of difficulty. Torsten, the apprentice, changes the tracks expertly by slowly loosening the bolts that hold the chassis in place. He cleverly positions the digger with the help of the boom, showing how creative the team is when things go wrong. The 750's bucket is particularly impressive because it is so big. It's 3 times bigger than the 480's. Time is important for Rick and his team because they work in less than a half week. Their staff is only 4 people, and they don't have a fixed driver. Rick's earlier success, in which he made an average of just over 70 ounces of gold per week, is very different from this situation. The problems that are coming up show how strong, flexible, and determined the team is as they keep going after their huge gold goal. The group is aware that Carl, the gold miner, is not there and stresses how important he is to fixing machine problems. They both hope Carl gets better and are worried about taking care of the equipment's upkeep without a trained tech. Most people agree that Torsten's ability to put together the 750 digger was a turning point that made the mining business a lot better. At this time of year, it's hard for Rick to find a plumber, so he's thankful that Torsten helped him right away. As the team gathers for the weekly gold weigh, Rick talks about the effects of having a smaller staff and the need for a worker to fix problems with the pumps. Even with all of these problems, the crew stays friends, and they raise a glass to the amazing gold crop that only 4 crew members, including the new Torsten, were able to handle. The story shows how flexible, determined, and flexible the crew was in getting past problems so they could reach their gold mining goals. The team is still dealing with the problems of the season. They are looking ahead with a mix of determination and confidence as the successful end of the gold weight has given them hope. And yet, none of these problems affect Rick in any way. In fact, they might even be a good thing. We can see that Brennan has a hard time because he can't find any good land. He doesn't care and takes a wild guess as to where a new cut should be made. Almost magically, the chosen area is cleaned up and fully open in a matter of seconds. When people find possible gold in a test pan, they decide to call the new site the Bacon Strip. During the gold rush, there is a tense moment when the parking brake on a rock truck gets caught on a pile of pay dirt. Even though the rescue is shown with dramatic music and quick cuts, the story makes fun of the fact that, to everyone's surprise, no one dies. The episode ends with a smooth cleanup that yields a respectable 75.92 ounces of gold. But things change in the gold rush game when Rick's team goes through a number of staff changes. Riley is the rock truck driver he gets right away after losing the first one. A slightly inflated story about a rock truck losing a tire shows how the crew reacted to what turned out to be a pretty small problem. The following day takes a surprising turn when Riley, the new driver, suddenly disappears. The crowd gets to see Rick's girlfriend learn how to drive a rock truck after she offers to take over. As a joke, the announcer calls this part of the show the perfect blend of boredom and boredom. Rick finds another 47 ounces of gold just as cleanup time is about to start. This brings his season total to 502 ounces. When Riley comes back the next day, he has a huge scar across his face. And the story continues. He gives an account that includes a fight, a trip to the hospital, and having his phone taken away by the police. Even though things didn't go as planned, Rick is glad to have Riley back with the team. The crew's original happiness and excitement quickly faded when they realized there was a major problem. There was a sudden wave of fear among the team, because that's when they found out there was a crack between the plant and the pre-wash that opened up without warning and let water out, which is very bad for the mining operation. Figuring out why there is warning is easy once the 2 9-inch steel pins that were joining them are found to be missing. But even though this is a worrying development, no one seems to care. The crew makes 2 new pins to fix the problem. As the team tries to get past the hurdles, more problems come up because rocks can pass through the holes in the screen deck. In an effort to save the situation, they glue steel plates over the holes. It's too bad that the cleanup only turns up 40.64 ounces of gold. At this point, everyone is upset about how limited their current wash plant is. Strangely, there was no reason for why Rick wasn't using Monster Red, the wash plant he had worked hard to fix up over the off-season. The mining team has to make some tough choices that are getting more and more interesting as time goes on. Now though, Rick seems to have forgotten how much work he put into Monster Red over the winter when Freddie and Juan show up to fix his wash plant. It takes 4 days, but they quickly put in the new punch plates Rick bought, even though they are a bit too thin. Surprisingly, Freddie and Juan are able to solve the problem without any problems at all with a little help from Chris. As Freddie and Juan work on the repair, the story moves smoothly and shows off their skill and knowledge. The lack of excitement in this method is very different from the problems that happen in the gold mine business. After 1 day of work, everything is fixed without any major issues. The team cleans up the campfire and finds 17.27 ounces of gold. When Rick wakes up the next morning, his bacon strip shows that there is no pay dirt. It's brave of him to decide to go back to the deep cut even though no gold was found there last year. He has a strong feeling that all the gold in the cut might be concentrated under his access road, and that feeling is very important. As they look into the deep dig, they quickly find 2 rocks, which is seen as a good sign that there is a lot of gold there. Then something strange happens. The cut is supposed to start filling with groundwater, even though everything else is dry, until Rick breaks a berm on purpose and floods the area. Additionally, they make things more difficult by using a pump to remove water from the dry area to smooth things out. Even though the digging process was hard, 126.86 ounces of gold were found after everything was cleaned up. Good luck, Rick. Your season total now stands at 687.68 ounces, showing that you have the toughness and adaptability needed to work in the volatile world of gold mine. But things get interesting when Rick puts Brennan on the Raleigh Valley night shift. During the first night shift, a rock truck breaks down, but it is fixed well. Brennan has to peel the next night, which is called Glacier Till. Foreman Brennan is promoted by Rick the next day after a short break in the story. People are left thinking about the possible interesting things that were said but not done during Brennan's night shift and promotion, since the recap jokes about leaving out the more interesting parts. The story is now following Rick as he digs deeper into Raleigh Valley. Something strange happens when he hits a bed of rocks and blocks 30 feet earlier than planned. But when you look at things in a bigger picture, it might not have been as shocking as people made it out to be. People believe that these rocks are good signs of good gold, which is made clear in the story. It's good that Rick finds 25 to 30 gold nuggets when he tries pans of the material. Rick sees what could happen and chooses to try his smaller wash plant in a bigger way. He needs to build a new road and a bridge across the valley so that everyone can get there. 14.02 ounces of gold are made in the 1,000-yard test. Because of these discoveries, Rick feels a sense of urgency and panic throughout the show. The reason is that Monster Red, the main wash plant, isn't ready to handle new ground. Rick has a tough choice to make. He doesn't want to throw away the valuable pay dirt, but he needs to run it through his wash plant right away. So far as we can tell, Rick's changes to his plans have made a huge difference for the whole Gold Rush crew. At first, Rick didn't want to set up Monster Red when he got to the last pay stage in Raleigh Valley. But at the beginning of the show, he has to face the hard truth that he needs to set up Monster Red in order to get to the top pay level. This decision sets the stage for the challenges and wins that will follow. In the episode, Rick is seen handling Monster Red. At first, there are only a few happy shouts and not much else happens. When a brand new hopper feeder appears out of nowhere, the story takes a turn that no one saw coming. It was said that Rick had spent all of his leftover money on updating Monster Red and buying a new dozer over the winter, so this is even stranger. Some people think that he may have bought the hopper feeder with money from Fred's supposedly endless savings. Rick is able to run Monster Red for 2 days and get 43.53 ounces of gold, even though it had some problems at first. When the rocks roll back down Rick's conveyor belt, they make things tricky. To fix the problem, he calls the company that made the hopper feeder, and they add a finger trap to keep the rocks from going back down the line. When Rick makes this change, the program goes on to the cleanup stage, where he finds an amazing find, 181.17 ounces of gold. At this point, though, it looks like Rick is having a rough season and needs help. People in the crowd were shocked when Rick's father, not the man who drove the truck, was called in. The episode looks like it was cut together badly, with sudden changes in the weather and seasons. At first, Rick's dad can be seen going outside in the snow and then getting on a rock truck. But the snow goes away quickly. The description is funny because of the uneven editing. Soon after, the 700 digger breaks down, and trying to rewild the hydraulic tubes makes the situation worse. Later attempts to empty the lines don't work and make things worse. Even though it's hard, Rick finds an amazing 122.21 ounces of gold. When Rick spends a lot of time in Raleigh Valley in late fall, more things happened. He is suddenly called away from his work to let him know that the claim owner is there. When late fall turns into early winter, things take a turn that no one saw coming. The owner of the claim says she wants to sell it to Rick, but she won't say how much. For some reason, Rick is given an extra chance. He has 2 years to make the 150-ounce down payment if he can. After that, there are heated conversations, looks, and thoughts that make Rick come up with what seems like an odd plan. The first exciting part of Rick's plan is to go back in time to late summer. Running Monster Red and Rocky at the same time is a brave move. The storyteller builds a sense of mystery and tension by picking up on people's confusion about the strange editing choices. As the story goes on, an accident happens when a rock truck tips over while backing up to dump on a pay pile. The part that's unclear is when it turns out that the truck was empty the whole time, but fully filled when it tipped over. This makes the story even less clear. It's time to clean up in the middle of all the strange things that are going on. Rocky gets 95.4 ounces, but Monster Red gets 219.8 ounces, which is even more. But when people are celebrating a win, winter comes back quickly. Rick is not bothered by the passing of time. He decides to take advantage of the situation and buy the claim from its owner, promising to pay the 150 ounces that they had agreed upon. All of these show how unstable gold mining can be by showing both losses and wins. At the end, Rick makes a big decision that will affect the future of his business in Rally Valley. Even though it had snowed earlier in the season, Rick thought the big snowfall in the middle of winter was the first big snowfall of the year. Rockies will be closed for the year because of the snow, says Rick. This choice makes someone suddenly sneeze, which draws attention to the problems and irritations the mining operation is having. The fact that the pay in Rally Valley is so wet shows that they have hit the water table. To fix this, Rick adds a pump. Cutting that goes very quickly and exciting scenes. People say that the lack of progress the next morning is because the pump is too small, but it looks like there may be more issues. Rick decides out of the blue to take another pump without permission, which leads to a dry cut the next day. The story is mostly about the drama of the pump problem, but the water table's uneven effects make you wonder about some things. Since Rick has to pay $40,000 for the pump, it becomes more likely that Fred, who seems to have endless resources, could help with money. Even though there are problems and disagreements, the cleanup goes well, and 206.09 ounces of gold are found. These different kinds of problems and good outcomes show how unpredictable gold digging can be in the winter. As soon as winter comes early on Rick's claim, he might call all of his miners together for an encouraging speech and tell them to work harder. This is a common theme during the mining season. Rick sets up 2 machines to feed the 400-yard-per-hour wash facility so that he can get the most work done. One loader had electrical problems while it was working. These problems can be quickly fixed by cleaning the links between the batteries. Suddenly, a lot of the cut gives way, which makes the person angry and makes them swear and rub their face. Drone footage shows that the group quickly runs away because they are afraid for their lives and their gear. As the last step in the cleanup process is completed, an amazing 393 ounces are found. For the season, Rick has now weighed 2,047 ounces of gold. When you look more closely at the final gold weigh-ins, you can see that he found 19% of his gold in the last 4 weeks of the season. This is an amazing feat of gold mining. Overall, it was a great search, but do you remember when Rick's girlfriend showed up and saved the day? Lise, Rick's girlfriend, helps out a team member who is hurt. Rick's co-worker got lost in the mine madness of the bacon strip, but Elise's surprise truck skills turned things around. Rick now has 502 ounces of gold for the season, which was worth over $900,000. The crew won with 80.47 ounces of gold. To get to lower, nugget-rich ground, Rick Ness sped through the bacon strip at Duncan Creek. Riley, his new partner, wasn't at work, and he couldn't get in touch with him or tell him when he would be back. This made him angry. It made Rick feel bad, especially after a hard year. With only 2 rock trucks, Rocky could not work at full speed. Elise, Rick's girlfriend, offered to drive trucks to help. Rick gave it some thought, but in the end chose to let her learn with crews. Elise amazed everyone by being able to handle the basics and even learn more harder lessons, even though she had never been digging before. Rocky was back with 3 trucks, and Elise was driving one of them to help them move forward. Once again, Rick was pleased to see that the crew had reached 80.47 ounces of gold, which is more than $145,000. Rick has now caught 502 ounces this season, which is worth more than $900,000. This is a big accomplishment for the small group. The show ended with a funny moment where the crew made fun of Elise for something she did on the rock truck that no one saw coming. The Ness team has their best mining week yet, making almost $300,000. When Monster Red lost efficiency because of a problem with the pipeline, Rick Ness was put in a tough spot. And surprising 181 ounces of gold were found in just 70 hours, thanks to a quick fix for a finger trap and quick thought. Rick is now hoping that he will reach the rare 2,000-ounce mark. There was a lot of competition for Rick Ness to win the 2,000-ounce prize, which was the biggest award of the season. But because of problems with the seat conveyor, Monster Red dropped from moving 300 yards of dirt per hour to moving only 200 yards of dirt per hour. Its once efficient operation came to a sudden stop. Rick was afraid that he might lose gold, so he called a company right away and prayed that they could fix it quickly. There was still a lot of yardage left in the season, so Rick knew how important it was to fix this right away. During a very important meeting, Rick told Proctor Barry and Scott Ezekiel about the problem of rocks going back down the conveyor belt more slowly. It was suggested that a finger trap, which is a frame with 8 metal fingers, be built to catch rocks and let pay dirt flow through. Rick agreed to the idea and emphasized how important it was, even though building was supposed to stop. As smart as ever, Barry and Scott looked through the boneyard for extra parts that they could use to make Rick's finger trap. This smart fix took several hours to finish, and Monster Red was now ready for a test run. The team was nervously waiting for the results and thought how much gold they would really find in Rally Valley. The group found an amazing 181 ounces of gold in just 70 hours, which was more than they thought they would find. Because of how well it turned out, Rick said it was one of their biggest gold finds. He told the team thank you and said he was excited to mine at Monster Red's fast pace to keep the momentum going toward the elusive 2,000-ounce goal. Troy Taylor, the owner of the land where Rick Ness is looking for 2,000 ounces of gold, gives him a chance by offering to buy the land with a 150-ounce down payment. Ness now has the most gold he has ever won. Kyle Lawson, a rookie, is in charge of a bold plan that makes an amazing 315 ounces every week. Rick is driven to succeed, so he makes a promise to own land even though there are problems. Mine manager Rick Ness staked his young career on a 190-foot deep-cut test drilling, which increased the chance of a $5 million gold hit. Rick is 800 ounces short of his goal weight of 2,000 ounces because the results haven't lived up to his hopes. Rick is worried about his survival as winter comes and the high-grade pay layer stays out of reach. He isn't just enjoying digging a big hole. No, Rick knows he needs to find an answer and thinks about the best way to reach his season's goal. Troy Taylor, the owner of the Duncan Creek house that Rick is said to be renting, calls him out of the blue. Troy makes Rick an offer to buy the land and puts down 150 ounces, which is equal to $250,000, $100. Rick is shocked by the offer, but he says he'll think about it and get back to you right away. Rick is having a hard time making a profit after spending a lot of money on new tools, so this offer comes at a bad time. Rick feels the rush and thinks of new ways to get more done and keep things going forward. He tells his team about a bold plan. He wants to run both wash stations at the same time. Rick talks to Kyle Lawson, who used to work as an iron worker in Yukon, and asks him to run a single workshop by himself so that this plan can work. Kyle takes on the job of running Rocky, the wash plant, even though he doesn't know much about mining. Because he is always short-staffed, Rick counts on Kyle to bring in the extra 150 ounces needed for the down payment. Since Rocky is back at work, Kyle is in charge of running the wash plant and filling the dirt by himself. He is in charge of the process and makes sure that the ashes don't get in the way of the flow. Even though it's hard, Kyle is able to process the gold and reports an amazing 315 ounces of output for the week, with 219.8 ounces coming from Monster Red and 95 ounces from Rocky. Rick is so excited about his huge gold find that he goes to talk to the homeowner, Troy Taylor, about buying the land. Rick is sure of his choice, so he agrees to buy the land and says that the down payment can't be returned. Rick says he is sure he will be able to pay back the loan before the end of the season, and the deal says that the fee plan will continue into the next season. As Rick gets closer to his goal of having his own land, he thinks about the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Rick is amazed by Monster Red's digging skills. When Monster Red makes a comeback, Rick Ness sets a 2,000-ounce goal for him. A new hopper feeder gets around problems and boosts output to more than 300 yards per hour. As winter gets closer, things get more urgent, and Rick's determination to finish his gold mine project on time stands out. Rick Ness, the mine boss, has to do the hard work of bringing Monster Red back to life in order to make his 2,000-ounce goal. Within 48 hours, his goal is to develop and improve the plant so that it works as efficiently as possible. A big LRS feeder with twice as much capacity as the old model is part of the plan, along with a simplified design that doesn't have any extra lines. Installing it is hard, especially when a heavy chute makes the toe lift work less well. The group changes the wire to stop more damage. The updated hopper feeder in Monster Red makes it possible for it to do more while keeping the focus on speed and ease of use. Rick thinks that running the plant at over 300 yards per hour will make it much more productive. The team brings Monster Red back to life after a scary moment with a broken part and sets it up to look at Rally Valley's rich pay dirt. It's becoming more and more important to get Monster Red up and running as winter approaches. Rick is determined to be successful in his gold mining project, as shown by his desire to end the season on a high note. Rick is looking forward to the arrival of the new hopper feeder and the chance to make money from Rally Valley's deep-cut pay dirt, especially now that Monster Red is ready for fight. The major turning point in Rick's journey to financial success and the completion of his 2,000-ounce goal was the repair of the wash plant. The leaves changing colors are a steady reminder that time is running out to get things done, so the rush is on. The biggest gold weights of Season 12 come from Parker using Lucifer's wash plant at Scribner Creek to its fullest, which yields 337.45 ounces. Rick's team can now clean up 3 ounces per hour. Parker's team at Big Red is having a great week because 596.6 ounces are worth more than $1 million. The story gives a short summary of the problems and successes that come with gold digging. The team meets at Scribner Creek for the gold weigh-in. They greet each other and talk about what they have planned for the week. Parker talks about the costs of the process. He says that he had to pay $350,000 to get rid of his deepest dirt, which added up to $1.4 million. Lucifer, his wash plant, needs to produce more than 180 ounces to break even, which will be hard to do since it only produced 84 ounces last week. When things went wrong, the team made changes that improved the wash plant's performance and cut down on the amount of water it used. Torsten gets the 750 digger ready for Duncan Creek's rough ground by carefully moving the movable undercarriage. Things are getting more exciting as the gold show gets closer. Since Mitch fixed the plant, he quickly shows off the result, which is a big step forward. The cleanup from the 750 makes an amazing 337.45 ounces, which is more than expected and brings in more than $600,000. Now, Rick's business runs for less than 2 weeks with only 4 employees and no dedicated mechanic, which is very different from last year's average of just over 70 ounces per week. The difficulties bring out the team's ability to change and keep going. The story then moves on to Rick's cleanup, where he gets 3 times as much gold as before, up from 1 ounce per hour. The crew is happy about the success and points out the big steps forward that have been made. As the team finishes up and thanks each other for their work, the friendship stays strong. The gold keeps coming out. Mitch's hard work pays off, and Chris does a nice job that adds to the overall success. The scene moves to Parker's team at Big Red, where everyone is happy about their accomplishments. More than $4 million has been put into Mud Mountain to get to its rich prizes, which is making people more excited. Big Red has never had a better week than this one, with a gold reveal that adds up to 596.6 ounces worth over $1 million. There are many problems, successes, and trades in the story, which gives a full picture of the hard world of gold mine. Scenes flow smoothly into the next, showing the highs and lows of the business before a successful gold weigh-in that makes money. The scene moves to Parker's team at Big Red, where everyone is happy about their accomplishments. More than $4 million has been put into Mud Mountain to get to its rich prizes, which is making people more excited. Big Red has never had a better week than this one, with a gold reveal that adds up to 596.6 ounces, worth over $1 million. There are many problems, successes, and trades in the story, which gives a full picture of the hard world of gold mine. Scenes flow smoothly into the next, showing the highs and lows of the business before a successful gold weigh-in that makes money. Rick Ness only needs 300 more gold ounces to reach his season goal. However, as winter comes, Rick needs to get another 550 ounces to reach his 2,000-ounce goal. The group turns their attention to Monster Red and buys a strong pump to deal with the water problems in cold weather. The story shows how determined, creative, and persistent they were in the unpredictable world of gold digging. The snow on the steep land above Keno in late September is a sign that winter has come early. The once bustling wash plant, which is an important part of getting gold out of the ground, is now dormant under its winter coat, representing the problems caused by the changing environment. Rick takes a moment to think about the big chances he took when he started digging gold by himself. This shows how determined he has been over the years. In his 3rd season away from the Kundik, Rick is almost at Keno's big gold find. He put down a big deposit to make sure that his claims are taken care of. But there is still a big problem to solve. He needs another 550 ounces to hit his lofty 2,000-ounce goal. The mining season is almost over. The story then moves on easily to the mine site, where Rick is solving a puzzle about water. Last week, Rocky, his second wash plant, helped him get the biggest gold weigh-in ever. Still, The coming frost is always a worry, and work has to be done all the time to keep the water flowing. The fact that Rocky has decided to shut down shows a shift in strategy, with more focus on Monster Red and a stronger push to reach the season's gold goal. Rick is having a hard time with the water problem while it is snowing outside, which shows how the process is always affected by weather below freezing. He is honest about the problems they've had and stresses how important it is to have a pump to stop the groundwater from coming in all the time. Even though they face problems and setbacks, the group stays motivated to find the money that is hidden beneath the waves. Rick and the rest of the team face the water problem head-on to find a solution. The discovery of a strong 10-inch pump is a turning point, but it comes at a high cost that shows the unexpected costs that come with the gold rush. As things stand, they perfectly show the spirit of teamwork and determination that is needed to overcome unexpected problems in the never-ending search for gold wealth. As the strong pump is used to show that it can move a lot of water, the story keeps going in a clever way. The combined efforts of the team to get the pump going show the dedication and teamwork needed to deal with the unpredictable nature of gold mine. Even though there are problems, costs that weren't expected, and ongoing problems with the weather, Rick is still set about the gold output. The results that could be seen, the gold that was recovered, and the hope for future success show how determined and clever Rick and his team were in figuring out how the unpredictable gold mining business worked. As our look into the fascinating world of Gold Rush and Rick Ness's gold mine tries comes to a close, we have seen how luck can change quickly in harsh terrain and as the seasons change all the time. Rick's journey has been an emotional roller coaster of highs and lows, persistence, and finally success, from managing falls in the cut to dealing with early winter storms. The rough conditions of the mining season have shown off the pristine beauty of Alaska's wildness and the strong will of the people who go there in search of money. Rick's changes to his plans and the thrill of finding gold at the last minute have shown how unpredictable gold mining can be. We are shocked by the problems that were solved and the wealth that were found as we say goodbye to the drama, thrill, and excitement that make up Rick Ness's search for gold. In these thrilling and difficult episodes, the superheroic and warrior-like qualities of Tony Beets, a gold miner, and the Winchester crew, who are able to survive the challenge of recovering their most recent machinery, are brought to the forefront. In the event that their excavator stops functioning owing to chain problems, what strategies will Winchester crew employ to deal with the situation? As a result of this circumstance, how will they get the end that they want? Let's join Tony Beets and the Winchester crew in their pursuit of gold and dive headfirst into the extremely fascinating endeavors that they are involved in. During his search for gold in Paradise Hill, Yukon, Tony Beets jumps headfirst into his objective. Tony Beets is making progress in the correct direction to achieve his goal of digging 5,000 ounces of gold, utilizing the sophisticated technology that is operating to effectively carry out his objective. He is in the process of maintaining his previous record. The most significant obstacle that he must overcome in his endeavor is the weather conditions, which have the potential to produce a significant disruption in his path. Even though it is the middle of September, the persistent rain is making the situation more stressful for the leader of the clan Dyke. This is because the rain is slowing down the machinery. In light of the fact that he is only 900 ounces away from achieving his objective, he is all set to dig the 80 pup cut, which has a great deal of potential to uncover a substantial quantity of gold. The rain is making things tough for them because it is filling the pond with water, but he is so excited to see the mounds of gold that are in the 80 pup cut. They were confronted with the same difficulty 12 weeks earlier, which led to the entire suspension of their operation. At that time, the ponds were flooded with water, and they had to construct them once more. This time, the same weather scenario puts a significant amount of pressure on his nerves, and he instructs Mike, one of his crew members, to take the 220 excavator to the dike by the pump area in order to fix things up and to prevent the dreadful repercussions of the water falling down in the ponds and disrupting their activities. The excavator 220 that Mike is operating is making its way through the sticky mud on its way to the dike. In spite of the rain that is getting heavier, he is hoping to reach the dike as quickly as possible. The excavator gradually slows down as a result of the muddy ground, which prevents it from progressing any further than it already has. In an instant, the excavator comes to a complete halt and starts to sink steadily. When he sees the excavator sunk down there, he appears to be somewhat dissatisfied. At this time, Tony arrives at the location and expresses his desire to retrieve the submerged excavator. He immediately ceases all of his mining activities because he is unable to continue with the mining endeavors without the excavator, and he cannot allow his machine to continue in this manner. It was initially their intention to pull the sinking excavator out of the water with the assistance of 2 additional excavators. However, this endeavor has not produced any results at all. They need to broaden the scope of their struggles in order to bring heavy gear to a state where it can function properly. As soon as Tony comes up with a strategy to bring the excavator through the door, they are prepared to put it into action without delay. He divulges his strategy to bring in further reinforcements. It is his intention to bring the 18-ton D6 dozer, as well as the enormous 115-ton D11 dozer. In order to construct a sturdy foundation for the excavator, he intends to first remove the water from the area surrounding the submerged excavator, and then, with the assistance of a D6 dozer, force the coarse tailing into the hole. Last but not least, the colossal D11, which is a monster with 850 horsepower, will bring out the excavator while it is on the sturdy reinforced ramp. Within the plan, they discover a glimmer of optimism. In spite of the fact that the idea appears to be fantastic, it turns out to be quite challenging to implement due to the enormous amount of dirty water. Tony assumes control of the D6 dozer and starts the process of removing the water from the area. As it should have been, it starts to demonstrate the progress that has been made. On the other side, Mike begins to add coarse tailing to the pit, and it proves to be really beneficial for them. Even if the severe rain in Paradise Hill slows down the process of gold hunting, Tony is still optimistic that he will be able to harvest more gold out of the 80 pup cut, because it has proven to be quite fertile in terms of producing gold. Tony and his family are currently seated at the dinner table, which is located in their regular location. He laughs at Mike's suggestion that he should be held accountable for allowing their excavator to become submerged in the muck, because he has been driving the excavator without paying attention to the directions. It appears that he is pleased to be able to release the tension in a span of 2 to 3 hours. Despite the fact that Tony claims that the success is the result of his engineering and wisdom, Mike says that it is relatively simple to retrieve the excavator. Tony laughs as he makes this assertion. In the meantime, Mike is weighing the gold that he has acquired by pouring it into the tray. Tony requires 300 ounces of gold in order to maintain the functioning of their family system. As soon as Mike starts pouring gold out of the jar, the entire family immediately focuses their attention on the scale, and they start reading it out loud. Almost immediately, the readout goes beyond 300 and to 500 ounces, which is significantly higher than what they had anticipated. The entire amount of gold that they acquire is 4,601 ounces, and they receive 500 ounces of gold that is worth $850,000. As a result of their excursion that took place in extremely severe weather conditions, they consider it to be exceptional. Jason Fraser, another mining boss, has arrived to Tony Beat's Hunker Cut along with his Winchester crew. This is occurring on the opposite side of the fence. They have been in Yukon for the first time, and they are getting close to the end of their first season there. After the toil associated with a lengthy summer season, they are so eager to get back to their homes. Therefore, in order for them to continue living freely, all that is required of them is 200 ounces of gold to pay their landlords. They are optimistic that they will achieve their ultimate outcome, which is to acquire approximately 200 ounces of gold. Tony gives his blessing to the proposal because he will profit 30% from it. As of right now, they have already reached 106 ounces, and the entire cut has been thoroughly investigated. The truck that John Van Tuyl is driving to the Winchester is equipped with a double-barrel wash plant that he has constructed at his home. He is holding the steering wheel. Over the course of the season, it has been functioning fairly well, and he is still holding out hope that it will continue to function in the same manner. As the third member of their skeleton crew, Butch, who was formerly employed as a logger, goes through the process of becoming an excavator operator, he goes from being a novice to being deeply appreciative. In the midst of his announcement that he is on the final thread of 10,000 yards, the excavator suddenly hits a setback. In the course of its operation, the chain of the excavator breaks. Following his descent from the excavator, he makes a beeline for Jason in order to convey the news that the trammel has ceased functioning. Upon Jason's arrival, they investigate the situation and discover that the chain that is dangling down the excavator is the cause of the machine's inability to function properly. They discover that the chain has been severed from the master link, which is responsible for holding the entire chain together. If the master link has become inoperable, the Winchester weapon system will be unable to spin its twin barrel wash system. They have arrived at the conclusion that in order to avoid any delays in their work, they need to locate an additional master link to the chain. They search through a large bag of links and correctly identify the one that can be of assistance in the event that it is needed. However, John instructs Butch to attach the master link that is broken. He requests that he activate the TRL by turning the black button on the opposite side of the device to the opposite position. Subsequently, he requests that he let it go slowly while holding it. After that, he instructs him to move his hand slightly, since he does not want to cause his hand to get more compressed. Immediately after he raises his hand, the chain is unable to reach its wheel and they are forced to halt it for a period of time. They give it another go in an effort to recreate the procedure, and this time, they are able to make some further headway. During this time, Jason arrives at the location with the master link and climbs up the ladder in order to execute an assault on the chain. Finally, the Winchester crew succeeds in continuing their mining operation after the hard 2 hours of labor with the chain. They have a limited amount of time to meet their objective of 200 ounces, which is still 94 ounces short. Winter is just about to set in, and they have that time as a premium. When it comes to machinery, Jason laughs at the fact that they, like people, do not enjoy working during the winter months. Having returned to Tony's residence, he is currently seated alongside his woman. They have positioned themselves in anticipation of the Winchester crew, who are just about to arrive after cleaning the final patch. While he is thrilled, he is also hopeful that the Winchester crew will be able to accomplish what they have set out to do. During this time, the Winchester crew arrives at the location, and Tony inquires about the malfunction of the equipment that is causing them difficulties in their endeavor. Jason starts to pour the gold from a box onto the weighing scale, and they start reading it out loud at around the same time. They appear to be quite ecstatic and content with the discovery of 101 ounces of gold, which is beyond their expectations. This is because they have finally accomplished their objective, which is to acquire gold worth $350,000. Tony extends his most heartfelt congratulations to them on the successful conclusion of their first season at Yukon, and extends an invitation to return to the location. It is a happy conclusion for Tony and the Winchester crew, because their trips end up accomplishing their goal in a remarkable manner, despite the fact that they encountered a lot of challenges along the way and squandered a lot of time. In the comments section, please give your thoughts on these fascinating gold rush activities, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more exciting and adventurous adventures in the future.